The VL series is a low-profile semi-suspension, which means that you have one pivot point and the rest of the body moves. And it might not be much, because it's only 41 millimeter of traveling on the EPDM damper cushions. But if you move the center of gravity further away from the pivot point, those 41 millimeters becomes a very big damping effect. So the pivot point should facing forward. This is aft. And we have the EPDM cushions are threaded, so you can easily move them in different positions. The further forward, the softer it gets. The further aft you move them, the harder it gets for heavier people. And they should always be in line. This model is the VLS. It only has slide 75 millimeter, 3-inch high. They also come in with swivel and slide built in, or just fixed. It depends on. If you want the handles to be on a certain side, then before installing the seat, you take the swivel handle and you move it to the other side, and then you install the seat. And you can also move the safety strap handle to that very same side by using a 17 millimeter key. And then you just open, because the male and female are threaded the same, so you can just move it to either side. The safety strap is for people, if there is a sudden movement or a sudden stop in the boat, the people sitting behind, if they are forced onto the seat, you should not sort of fold forward into the dashboard. And what you do is you press down and it snaps in by itself. And when taking the safety strap out, you just press down a little bit and move out, and you have free access to this. So very important before you consider the VL models. Do I have the center of gravity when the boat is in plane? Do I have it well beyond the pivot point, or do I sit leaning forward? Because if you sit leaning forward, I mean, you have the center of gravity, say here, and the pivot point is here, there is almost no damping whatsoever. So when installing the seat, make sure that the seat angle is at minimum 11 degrees when the boat is in plane, and that you have your center of gravity well behind the pivot point. This is the seat. Please consider this before deciding to get the VL series. A way to quick adjust while driving, while on the ride. You can also use the slide function to move the chair back, so you get more away from the center of gravity. This is a quick way of sort of regulating the damping effect. And of course, the other way around. If you need it to be harder, you move it further forward. General about installation. The deck should be flat. The seat should be flat underneath. It's never the seat base that is the weak point. It's the fastening points. If the seat is not flat underneath, there are many variations. You might need to consider a spacer between. We have them in 8 millimeter, 12, 17, aluminum, PVC, to make sure that it's flat, so there's no tension created that might jam the slide function. If you have a seat and you want the handles on the right side, well, before you install the seat, simply turn the swivel 180 degrees. It's not that difficult to do. Normal is 12 times 5 inch. It's like in rectangular installation points. Then screw underneath into the seat. You turn, and then you get access to the other side. Should you have 5 or 5.25 inch installation points in your seat, like many fishing boats or have on their seats, you have to remove the mounting plate from the seat base and do it separate. And you do this by opening the stop screw for the slide, which is always important to have screwed in all the time otherwise, because it stops you from sliding out from the seat base. And then you have to remove the swivel handle with 4 screws. I will now demonstrate. Oh, we got a runner. 4, take it out, and you take out the mounting plate, and you install it on the seat, under the seat, handles on either side you want. Screw heads can stick out maximum 1/4 of an inch, maximum 7 millimeters. Otherwise, it will scratch the slide plate. Once that is done, you simply pull out the slide handle and put the mounting plate back and put the swivel handle back with these 4 screws. Always remember to seal the screws that goes into the deck so there is no leakage. If you have pre-installed standard deck plate, like for a pipe seat base, for example, they usually come in 2 standards, 8-inch and 11-inch hole pattern. And this seat base might not be 100% accurate. We have these conversion plates that fits anything that is standard. So you get and they come also with installation screws. Hole number 6 on the small round plate that we have require you to access tightening the screw from the top. You can still drill the holes because they are symmetric, so you can just drill and make sure that everything works. But you have to tighten it from the top or from the side holes here. That might be a little bit tricky, and you might need an extender. But that's how it is, to make sure that it fits with directly on the 8-inch round plate. On some of the quick adjuster models, there are 2 offset screws. So if you have already a fixed hole pattern with screws that you want to use, you don't want to have the hassle of drilling holes and making threads. These conversion plates also have patterns to fit the 2 extra screws for the quick adjuster series when you have a small round plate. For any other round plate, you don't need that. Regardless if it's 12 6 o'clock screws or if someone at the boat producer have installed them sort of 11/5 direction. It doesn't matter. These conversion plates will work that out.